But I do find that once people know the reasons why you should give up coffee, that it makes it a lot easier. And also if you can find substitutes or other things that you like to have instead of coffee, that can make it easier. So the reason that coffee is not good for fertility is because, when we're wanting to improve fertility, the most important thing for us to do is make healthy eggs and healthy sperm. And what they are, they're made of cells. So we need to make sure we're having really good, healthy cells. And unfortunately, the coffee and caffeine is a toxin to the egg and sperm cells. And if you can imagine, the sperm cells are absolutely tiny, like we can't even see them with the naked eye. So you can imagine how tiny they are, and anything that is going to be toxic to them will be really toxic because they're just so small. And the egg cell is a little bit bigger, but also very sensitive to damage in that 3 months before it's released. So we want to make sure that 3 months before you're wanting to conceive a child, that you're not having coffee. The other problem with coffee is that for women, it actually makes the uterus unfavorable to implantation. So what that means is that there's alkaloids in the coffee that when they're in the uterus, they make the embryo not want to implant. So that makes it absolutely imperative that women do not have coffee after ovulation at all while they're trying to conceive, even decaf, because decaf also contains these alkaloids. Coffee is also damaging to the liver, and you probably know by now that if you're trying to conceive, we need really good liver health, because the liver is what processes all the toxins and hormones and pesticides and everything that comes into our body. So we need to make sure that the liver is functioning really, really well. And a good thing is that there's a coffee substitute, which is called dandelion root. You can get that at your local health food shop or sometimes in the supermarket. Make sure you get the root because the leaf is horrible. But dandelion root is roasted, it's bitter, doesn't taste like coffee, but it's the closest thing we can get to coffee. And it is actually good for your liver. So if you can think about that, rather than having your coffee, that you're actually doing something good for your liver and having a drink that doesn't taste too bad, that might help. And I also want you to know that you are not alone. Really, it is what people find the hardest. But also I'd like to give you confidence in that once you've given it up for 5-7 days, you won't crave it anymore, and it'll make it much easier not to drink it.